It's always good to be on the spotlights, right? Okay, what we're gonna talk about today? Ants! Well, mosquito, yeah, maybe next year, but we're gonna talk about ants.
Kids Tech University is a program for children ages 9 to 12 to come and enjoy a campus life at Virginia Tech. And it's co-ran, sponsored, and organized by Fralin Life Sciences Institute at Virginia Tech and also 4-H. Each day of Kids Tech University, we really try hard to focus on one particular theme, specifically looking at STEM. So we've got science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Hello? How's it going? I like the spotlight, I feel like a big superstar. Anyone wants to experience this? I'll let you do it later. Definitely. Okay. Ants! Well, mosquito, yeah, maybe next year, but we're gonna talk about ants. Show your hands. Show me your hands if you like ants. Woo! What? Like 30% ish, like ish? Okay, thank you. Show me your hand if you absolutely hate ants. What? Oh, yeah, fire ants are a very good example. Thank you. Show me your hand. You're one of those like, I don't really care. Ants are ants. Great. It's like one third, one third, one third. But I still see slightly more people liking ants. Am I right? Otherwise, you won't be here, right? Or is that my mom forced me to come here? Anybody like that? Yeah. Don't worry. I'll make sure this is going to be an entertaining session. Okay. So we're going to talk about ants. We're going to talk about why ants can be our friends and why ants can be our enemies. And when we talk about those ants that are our enemies, what do? We punch them, right? We squish them, yeah. I mean, or you can have something like an eater, right? Destroy ants. I mean, I love energy because every time I talk about ants, people always think about, oh, you know what? I know a way to kill ants very efficiently. I was like, okay, tell me. I'm a scientist. I study ants, right? So tell me your creative approach. Oh, you know what? When I see an ant killed, what I do is I pour the gasoline in there and set up a fire that it burn. I was like, what? Okay, let me tell you, anything that can kill us, kill ants, right? So you want to be smarter, right? You're gonna end up in a situation where you're trying to kill ants. You kill yourself. We don't want that to happen, right? So when it comes to like managing or controlling ants, we need to be smart. Okay. So my name is Scotty Yang. I study ants. I'm from Virginia Tech, of course, in the Department of Entomology. And I am such a big ant lover, okay, to a level where when people send me a greeting card, they actually put my hands, my hat on a, and have you noticed this little ants on my butt? Yeah, that's okay. That's how much I love ants. Okay, so we're gonna start with some ant biology. Okay, um, probably you have learned this from the very first KTU session, which was about bees, right? Bees and ants are their relatives. They're in the same taxonomical group. Okay, so when you talk about ants, bees, honeybees, they are kind of we call them social insects. Okay, so ants are social, just like us. Is anyone antisocial in this room? Yeah, I'm antisocial. I don't socialize with people. Yeah. Okay, then what? So they live in a group, right? So you open up an ant hill, you see a bunch of ants in there, thousands of ants, sometimes hundred thousands. Is that me? Okay, yes. So my first question for you. So I do bring some little price here. This is some notebook with the Virginia Tech entomology. So I don't think I have to show you how to use this, right? So this is little something here, so you can kind of wrap it up like this, okay? Uh, is this exciting gift? Yes. So I do have 5 questions throughout my talk. So if you see like purple question like that, that's a question that you're gonna lead to this cool notebook. Okay. So the first question is, why do they have live in group? What are the benefit or what are the advantage of being social? Can I have all hands down? I'm gonna count to three. Three. Okay, you're the first. Yes. What's the benefit or what's good to be in a group living in social?
Because if you need help, it's easier because there's like thousands of people around you and you could just call on one person.
Exactly. That's a great answer right there. So should I toss this as well? No, I don't want to hurt you. Yep. Oh. So let's watch a little quick video to show why it's so important to live in social. Isn't it a great example for, it's good to be in social? Okay. And just like bee, okay, ants also practice what we call division of labor. What does that mean? Yes? Exactly. I do have a little prize here. If you answer this random question of mine, you get this entomology pen, but your dad probably has thousands of them. Yep. So look at this. Some ants in the colony, in the nest, they're actually doing nothing but foraging. What does foraging mean? They go out, I'm sorry. They go out, they look for food, and they come back with the food, right? And some of the workers or some of the ants in the colony, they do defense. Whenever the enemies comes up, there are those, get deployed to fight the battle. Cleaning, janitor, they make sure the nest stays clean, like as much as clean as possible. And we do have the construction workers, right? Like some of you maybe oh, there's an ant here, I'm gonna poke it, and there's a hole. What do they do? Oh, I'm gonna do a sun bath right there. No, they're gonna try to put it up, cover it up, to reconstruct, make sure the nest stays intact. And you also have what we call nurse. Yes, they tend the babies, like, hey, rocking the baby to sleep. Okay, something like that. And you also have two of probably most important members in the colony when it comes to reproduction, when it comes to next generation. You need queen, or before they become queen, they are princess. Okay, they're female. And you have male, like prince. But we don't really use prince to describe ant male because I'll talk about this. I feel bad being I don't want to be an ant male, but I'll talk about that later. Oh my God, don't spoil it. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah. And interestingly, if you open up an ant nest, not all ants look the same. And you can pretty much tell, by what they look, and you probably can gauge what kind of job, what kind of task those ants are doing. Okay. This one, big mama, right? Big belly, a lot of eggs in her belly, right? So she is a reproductive machine. All she does, sitting there, okay, I need a cherry pie. So the worker was like, oh, cherry pie here. And what are you gonna do?
Be greedy.
Yeah, eat and greedy. And then lay the egg, right? Not poop. I mean, you poop as well, but the more important job for you to do is you actually pump it up those eggs. And you have some workers like we call normal worker, normal size. Sometimes we call them minor. When there is a minor, there is major. Sometimes we call him soldier. Like, huh? Yeah, I'm like big heads. I'm trying to fight, who is seeking for fights, that kind of thing. But don't get that wrong. Actually, soldiers are those ones who escape first, who flee away first when the enemy is too big to deal with. It's like, what? I don't understand. Soldiers are supposed to fight. And for example, when an anteater shows up, those soldiers are the first one to, oh, I'm out of here. Oh, yeah, I mean, they're smart. Why? This is because they are usually relatively bigger than other workers, right? The colony puts so much investment. You need to be a soldier. So I feed them a lot. They got fed a lot. So they cannot afford to die too early. So they have to wait until they contribute enough back to the colony before they can die. So that's why soldiers like, this one's too big to deal with. I'm out of here. That's so don't be misled by the term, okay? And sometimes you can tell what jobs a soldier ant does just by looking at this ant. Okay, this ant has a really weird name. Turtle ant. So, I mean, the soldier of this ant have this little shields like helmet on their head. Question: what is this? What is this for? Okay, you to get. Oh, that's actually a pretty good answer. Yes. It's like, oh, water is coming. Then how does she drink it? Spill. Okay. They defend and how they defend? Okay, no worry. So this ant happened to live in a hollow branch, like hollow trunk. And that's their opening right there, the nest opening. So when they feel threatened, what does soldier do? Yeah, they plug it up an entrance. Nobody goes in. That's a soldier meant to do in this species. Blocking the entrance so nobody goes in. And I'm pretty sure this one you guys are pretty familiar with, right? Leaf cutter ants. Okay. Look at the mandible. Look at the teeth. They resembled what's that? Scissor, right? So that's what it looks like when a leaf cutter ant trying to cut the leaf. That's fast, right? But watch out. Uh, parachute. So that's the leaf cutter ants. So their mandibles are designed to cut leaves. Okay, and we'll come back to this very interesting ant species later. Okay, have you heard about this ant? Trap jaw ants. And I mean, this is a little video right there. This is their head, and this is a mandible right there. Okay, and interesting, there are 4 little hairs in between their mandible. So what happened is, if anything comes in contact with this hair, it stimulates the jaw being like, pop. It's a sensor, exactly. Yeah. So, along the time, people thought, oh, this is a trap. What do you mean trap? Can I use you, a human volunteer? Come on here. Okay. So this is the little hair, right? Can I get you some help from you? For example, this is a hair. Right? Can you hold the hair like this? Yes. So, and this is the mandible, right? So when this is little like insect, like prey insect, you come closer and you accidentally touch the sensor, it was like, pa! Thank you. No, I won't chop over your head. So that's why that's the trap jaw works. At least that's what scientists thought about. But the more you look into this, the mechanism is gonna blow your mind. It's not just using as a trap. Look at that. When they snap something, they actually goes reverse. Here, they snap and they'll be. Yeah, so people, scientists have been thinking, why are they doing this? They're just like the acrobat stuff. Okay. It's actually a defensive mechanism. So when they are facing some other insect that are a little bit oversized them, this is what they do. They snap, they flick away. See? They say, uh, uh, get out of here. So that's more like, of course, they do use that as a trap, trying to catch other small insects. But it's used more when they are facing some insect that are larger than them and can be a potential threat. That's how they, okay. Okay, this one. Marvelous ants. Have you heard about this ant before? Yeah. Look at the mandible. How would you describe that? Hair comb. Hair comb. What do they do with that pair of trafu? Okay, how about
So do they? So is it like a claw, a scoop, like to scoop up food and stuff?
I like that idea. Perfect, yeah. But it's actually more than that. Okay. So this ant has a very specialized food. They only eat this little arthropods. It's a hairy millipedes. Millipedes. Not caterpillar at all. Those are millipedes. They only specialize. They only eat this millipede, hairy millipede like that. So if your food is something hairy, what are you gonna do? Yeah, you're gonna get the hair all off. Yeah, using that specialized, very special the mandible with very special morphology. Okay, now let's talk about what do they do, okay, to make a living. Okay. So, remember the first question I asked you? Look, ants are ants good to us or are ants bad to us? Good. Why? At home, you're like, hey, I'm eating this cookie. You have some crumb falling on the floor. And your mom's like, hey, Amber. My daughter is right there, Amber's. He's like, Amber, why are you having so many crumbs on the floor? Clean it. And this is what Amber always goes. Mom, don't worry about that. Aunt's gonna take care of those. Ants are gonna come and ants are gonna take those crumbs off. Right? So we don't have to do anything. And that's it, yeah. Not not only feeding yourself, you're also feeding the ants that have been doing the cleaning up job in your house, right? We respect them because they clean our house. We don't have to worry about those crumbs. And so the question is, why are ants like such an expert of snack hunter? Exactly, because they're always foraging, and when they go out looking for food, it's all coordinated behavior. Let me show you this video to you.
Nature's vacuum.
Yeah, I like that. So that is the very first worker who discovered where the food is, which is a little, cricket's belly. In the lab, we feed our lab colonies a lot of crickets, frozen crickets, okay, just like frozen dumplings, that kind of thing. So this worker actually kind of inspecting the quality, if this cricket's belly tastes good. Okay, and the next job she's gonna do is I need to go back to my colony and tell my sisters, my cousins, what, there is a so delicious food right there. Okay. So she's fighting her way home. It's like, and she missed that sister, of course. And she's like, okay, I have to go back to the colony. Okay. As soon as she goes back to the colony, she gets all the information to the colony. And what happened? Other individuals, other worker individual. Yes, they're just like, oh, there's something really good, delicious. We need to go get it and bring everything home. So like, yeah, like Avengers assembles, that kind of thing. Yeah. So they kind of form this what we call foraging trail all the way all the way it goes to where the food was. And they're trying to bring back home. Yeah, to the queen, to other, yeah. And what do they do? Like, okay, ants are unselfish animal. What is unselfish? They are not selfish at all. Why? When they find something really delicious, they actually take a little bit of that and save the rest for the colony. Save the rest for everyone else in the colony. And how do they actually like? I know they save for the rest of the colony, but how do they actually distribute this food with other members in the colony? What they do is they kiss each other. Yeah, I mean, exactly. So they actually like, do you need food?
Yes.
No. So I'll walk away. Do you need food?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Then what I'm gonna no, we're not going to do it. But I'm just wanted so worker when they come back to a nest with some food, they will identify who else really needs food and be like, are you hungry? No. Okay, I'll walk away. How about you? Oh. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that's gross. Okay. And that's exactly what happened when you have two ants doing what we call trophallaxis. And they are not just kissing for love. I mean, there are some love in the air, but it's actually they're trying to share food with each other. Okay. That's a strawberry juice. So just trying to let you know the liquid is actually moving around. Okay. And then, okay, let's go back to those ants taking care of your crumbs. Those are workers, right? They come out, and they take a crumb. But interestingly, those worker ants cannot even cannot even eat the crumb at all. Because workers cannot eat solid food. What? Yes, they couldn't eat it. Why? Because look at their, we call digestive system, the food tube, green one, it's really thin, really tiny. So the crumb, even they break down into small particles, it doesn't go through. So they die, they choke. Or you're like, oh, no more food can go because they're stuck. What do they do?
So they try to get the food out by like coughing it up, maybe.
That's a good idea. They actually ask for help. They ask the help from their babies. They ask help from their babies. So what they do is, I'm just pretend I'm a worker, bring a crumb back, and this are all my babies in the colony. So you look like I can use some help from you, so I'll give it to you, okay? And I will put it, right on your neck, because and baby cannot move. Just like, I'm hungry, I need some food. And you're gonna put the food, the worker is gonna put the food on their neck, like here. And what it gives is like, but you are not just eating the food. You're actually eating it and break it down in and working. Oh, that's a liquid food. So larvae or babies in ant colony actually serve as a blender or a food processor. I'm gonna break this solid food down into a liquid form and workers like take it. Oh, I like it, and distribute that liquefied food to other colony members. Okay, that's what it looks like when a yeah, that's her mouth. Yep, and the worker is coming up to check out. Hey, I need this things to be broken down. So this worker is trying to find a good baby to process that. Yes, yes, but it don't hurt them at all. Yep. And this is another video showing like, so worker's job is trying to break the insect, whatever particle to a little bit smaller particle size so that the larvae, the baby, actually can process that. This one, I mean, she's processing. She's processing that. Yep. Okay. So after they have been, after they keep eating stuff, the colony actually grow to a level where they have to produce next generation. Okay. So they need to have a wedding party, right? A wedding party. Because that's why, the colony mature, it's time to send, it's time to produce the next generation, you know, queens and prince, right? Remember those individuals with wings? Those are prince and princess. Okay. So when it comes to wedding party, they actually do something we call mating flights. They actually mate up in the air. Most of ants, they actually mate up in the air. That suggests, that's pretty much tell us when it comes to mating, you need to have the right condition. Okay, if you, I mean, if you are ants, princess trying to mate in the air, if the day is too windy, is it a good day for wedding party? He's like, bro, that's my girlfriend. I got blown away. Yeah, goodbye. And the voice kind of fade away, right? Fade out. So it has to be, it cannot be windy. And preferentially, if there was a rainy day or very good quality of a rain, before and after that there is a very good sunny day, that's a perfect conditions. For example, yesterday or this morning could be a really good because there was some rain yesterday, right? Today is pretty sunny, and we are going to see a lot of winged ants. Yes? Yes. They take a little bit for themselves, and the rest just giving back. Yes, yes. Yep. So the condition has to be right. And if you look at the sequence, or like how the mating flight happened, it's actually a really interesting process. It's actually boys or prince that actually take off first. What do they do after they get up in the air? They wait, but how do they wait? They form what we call male cloud. So literally, you're gonna see a cloud made of a bunch of dudes. Yeah, it's like dudes, like a dude party over there. So it serves as a really good indicator. Oh, that's where the wedding party is gonna happen. So, princess, princess, here, take off after the male cloud is formed. And when those princess take off, they're looking, oh, where's the party? Where's the party? You know, I have a party to be. Okay, and they just kind of fly into that male cloud. And what's gonna happen? And male's like, she is mine. I wanna, I want her, I wanna mate. Yeah, with her.
I will kill the rest.
Yes. No. And what happened after mating? The males die right away. So that's what I've been saying. I don't want to be a male ant. Okay, because you die right away after mating. And what happened to the princess after mating? They become an actual queen. Okay. And the first thing they do after they land, they just rip off the wings. I need to ask them. Yeah, but because they don't have to fly anymore, so they rip off their wings right away. And next thing she does is she's gonna dig into underground, in the soil, and cover herself up, and spend the rest of the time of her life underneath in the soil. Yeah, so that's where she is and starting her own colony, right? Okay, question here. Based on the mating flight biology, okay, and look at this two ants' head right there. Can you tell me which one is prince, which one is princess? A clue here, a clue here. Oh, okay. Like the proportion of the heads taken by eyes. Okay, I want all hands down. I'm gonna count to three. Okay, 1, 2, 4. Sorry, I said three, right? Get it down. 1, 2. What? 3. Okay, you. Yeah, you.
Here, I'm gonna give you the box.
I think the bigger one might be the queen. No, sorry, the male. The queen, yeah. And
Queen?
Queen, and the little one might be the male.
Perfect. Can you give me more detail about how you come up with this answer?
The male's eyes take up a large for.
Well, why? I'm sorry, because you are graduating, so I need to ask you a little bit more questions. You get this notebook already. Just wanna.
Because whenever I look at the ant Connolly,
Colony.
Connolly, the princess is usually the biggest one.
That's a good clue, yes. But based on the biology,
Well, the males need bigger eyes so they can see the perfect bride.
exactly.
Your
Can you
mind.
pass? Oh, yes, exactly. So think about you're one of them in a male cloud. Yeah, you need to be, you need to see where your, wives or lovers are, right? So you need to be able to have a good eyesight. Okay. And then this question I get a lot is, okay, I get it. I get it. Uh-huh. Yeah, queen after mating, she kind of dig into the soil and cover her up and live her rest of life in the soil. And then you start thinking, okay, so what's gonna happen is she's gonna start laying eggs. Eggs. And larvae, the baby hatch. And she's still in there with no help. What she is going to do to feed her own babies. Oh, well, I mean, so nobody's gonna take care of the babies, right? Okay. That's a very good That's a very, very good answer. But I mean, that happens in the nature, but most of time, moms sacrifice, but not like the life. So remember, they rip off their wings so they won't be able to fly anymore in the rest of their life, right? And there are actually muscles that control flying. So they don't need those muscles anymore. So they kind of slowly melt those muscles down to some liquid smoothie type of food and feed to her babies. That's a great sacrifice. So, whenever I I'll ask her again. So that's that's how cool or how much the mother love right there. So better listen to your mom, okay? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just gonna compare how similar we and ants. Okay. We do a lot of agriculture, right? You go to a supermarket, you go to a grocery store, you have a lot of vegetables available. That's agriculture, right? You actually grow vegetables, you grow crops for you to eat, right? But how about ants? Let's come back to leaf cutter ants. Are they cutting leaves just for fun? No, right? So what they do is they can chew the piece of leaf, okay? And what we call leaf pulp right there. And worker are gonna apply a little bit poop that contains a lot of enzyme on the leaf pulp. Okay? And what's it gonna be used for? To grow mushroom. So they use this as a nutrition to grow mushroom. This is the ant mushroom right there. So what they actually eat is mushroom. So you grow your own crop. And that's back to 50 million years ago. That's like a way long time ago. I have to look into that. But then, when there are crops, what are you thinking? When you have a crops, think about this: you're eating vegetables. You go, oh, there's a caterpillar. There's a caterpillar on my vegetable. That caterpillar is a pest, right? They're competing the same food with you, right? So when there are crops, there are pests. This parasitic fungi actually like eating ant mushroom. So after infection of this parasitic fungi, their mushroom garden, the leafcutter ants mushroom garden become this, cannot use anymore. So if you are those leafcutter ants, what do? I need to spray some insecticides, right? I want to kill those parasitic fungi. Yeah, well, yes, equivalent to caterpillars on our vegetables. So the scientists actually found a lot of leaf cutter ants, they have this whitish, like powdery or wax things covered on their cuticle, the surface. A lot of people just say, that's just wax. No, we don't have to worry about that. It's kind of earwaxing, but they're actually bacteria. They're like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. My mom tell me to like take shower every single day so I don't have the bacteria accumulation on my body. But they actually accumulate a lot of bacteria on their surface of body. They need it for what? Exactly. So that bacteria actually produce some chemical substrate that can be used as a pesticide to kill this parasitic fungi. So you're talking about humans are first animal doing pest control? Mm-mm. Ants. They do the first pest control. Yeah. And they also farming livestock. Have you seen aphids, mini bugs, those insects? What we call sap-sucking insect, because they are just like mosquitoes to plant. So they have the straw-like mouth part. Okay, they stick into a plant and drinking plant sap or plant juice. Okay, that's their major diet. It's major food. But when it comes to poop, their poop's actually really sweet. So I encourage you next time you see aphid, oh, they're pooping. You just kind of, oh, very sweet, super sweet. Yeah, no problem. And who doesn't like sugary stuff, right? Even it's a candy poop, we still like it, right? So look at this ant. Like this little aphid's like, oh, you need something from me. Okay, I'll give you the things you need. What does that, how does that work? So the ants, here's an aphid right there. Okay, can you, okay, okay. Imagine this is a plant and you're drinking a plant sap. So ants, as an ant, I'll come here. Okay. That's my like fountain drink right there, right? You know, you go to the whatever McDonald's, you have those Coca-Cola, things like that. I will use my antennae. And she was like, she would be like, thank you. It's pretty sweet. Yeah. That's what happened for them. Okay. But then think about this. It's just like we human beings herding cows, right? We have cows and we milk them. We want to milk, right? Out of those cows. The same for them. But then in the nature, aphids and many bugs, they have their natural enemies, which are ladybugs. Ladybugs are huge eaters of aphids, many bugs. So if you are ant and that's your cow being eaten by a ladybug, what do you do? Yeah, I mean, feel free to eat my cow. Exactly. So I will protect my cows. I'll protect my sheep. Ants figure out there's a ladybug, and this ant would become over. It's like, hey, go away. Yeah, get out of there. Don't touch my cow. Of course, in this case, the ant is by herself. There's not too much, to do. And that's a baby of ladybug. So does that remind you something in our human society, right? There's always a shipper, trying to protect the ship from the wolf. And those ants, some of the ants even take this relationship to another level. We build, what is this? Barn, right? Or shed for our cows. So for some of the ants, if they realize there are mealybugs, aphid, they will bring the dirts up to the plants and cover them up. Okay, that's the shade for aphids herd. So nobody knows they're underneath there are aphids. And if one of the cows is sick, what we do? What do? We check on that. Or if this is like too sick and the disease is super contagious, we're gonna remove this cow from the herd, right? So this ants coming here inspecting her cows and realize this one has a fungus infection. And she's like, no, this fungus is super contagious. I cannot allow this infected individual aphids staying here. So she picked it up and she threw it away. Just go away. Because I want to make sure the rest of the herd is safe from the disease. Okay. Yep. And just like us, they do a lot of stuff trying to prevent the disease outbreak in their colony because they're living together. That's the one downside living together, right? Because if one of your friends in a class got sick, there is a pretty good chance some of you will get sick, especially those who play with this brand like a lot, right? They also do this quarantine, hygiene, and social distancing. For some of ants, they'll be like, oh, I'm sick. I don't want to get into a colony. I'd rather stay outside the colony. I don't want to get close to my colony because I want to make sure my colony doesn't get the disease. Yeah, they save the rest, even they die. So if you look at this is what we call formicarium, where we keep ants. So you realize, oh, that's a dumpster right there. That's a what we call refuse pile right there. So anyone that is dead get moved to what we call bone pile or refuse pile. And they will make sure that bone pile or refuse pile stays away from they are active. Just like us. Do you just throw the garbage in your bedroom? You actually go to the trash can and you trash it, right? You don't just like, that's it. I'm so happy living in a bunch of garbage. No, the same ants as well. Even a dead individual in a colony, they will figure that out and pick it up and throw it away or to the dumpster. So this is a very, to look at this ant. She's holding one of her sister and she's go away. That's a dead ants right there. They don't tolerate any dead ants in a colony at all because that's gonna jeopardize the colony health, okay? Then the scientists start thinking, oh, but how do they know they are dead? How do I know you're dead? They are not moving, but they don't have a good eyesight. Exactly. So they have the chemical. There's one chemical substrate actually associated with the death. Associated with death. So when I smell that, oh, you're probably dead. So I'm gonna pick you up, go to a dumpster, throw it away. How do the scientists test this? So they actually get a bunch of dead ants and grind them, okay, and apply whatever they grab, okay, on the apparently live ants. So I'm alive. I'm still moving, but I have that smell associated with death. They will come here. Interesting, interesting. You smell like you're dead, but you're still moving. But I don't care because you smell like you're dead. So throw it away. And you'd be like, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. No, don't throw me into a dumpster. Refuse pile. So what are you gonna do next? Yeah, I need to come back. I'm actually alive. Another worker come along. I think I threw you there already, but yeah, pick it up. And you'd be like, oh, I'm actually alive. Don't that chemical smell, confuse you so you come back. It's you again? Why? You were supposed to be there. And what I do is I'm gonna kill this individual because he's not supposed to be here in the colony with the smell associated with death. So you are not supposed to be here. If you keep coming back, so that's how brutal. But this is why ants colony always, free of disease outbreak. Even when you die, that's the spontaneous, that's a smell, right? Scientists always do weird stuff, right? And some ants, they can actually solve maze. Let me show you this video. So up there, there's a human. Down there's the ants, right? Yeah, but this is added video, of course. But what this study is trying to tell you is, if a group shares the same goal, you can achieve the goal more efficiently than a group, where each, different members have different thoughts. Okay, let's talk about the enemy. Okay, can you name some of the major enemy of ants? Okay, anteaters. It's great. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. You have already the pen. Yeah, but it is. It is what other ants. That's great. Yeah. Okay.
People.
Oh yes, people like me. Okay. Fire ants. Fire and other ants. Okay. Then anteater people. Disease as well. Okay. How about you? You guys forgot this important one. Ant lion. Ant lion. This is an insect called ant lion down there. What they do is they will make a funnel, yeah, like this, like a pit. Yes. What happened is when ants come closer, they will fall in the trap. Yes. It's just like stepping into a slippery slide. You can never get back up. And it's like quicksand, right? The faster you move, you actually fall. And once you get caught by ant lion, they just eat you to death. WWE. I like that. Okay. But remember trap jaw ants? They have this packs. Yes, look at that. This trap jaw ants accidentally fall into an ant lion trap. And with that, snapping their jaws, they create a force to go back. So they would be able to escape from the ant lion. Okay. And this one is especially nasty. Those are furry flies. Actually, we have a lot of furry flies in your house, in our house. But those furry flies are not these furry flies. These furry flies are a parasite. What they do is they will hover around. Those are some ants that are marching. Ooh, this ant looks pretty good. Okay, so what this furry fly, female, would do is like, okay, she's focused on this ants, right? And she's gonna dive and lay the egg on an individual ant's neck right there. What happened next? Maggot hatch. Eat all the way into the ant's brain. So you literally have an ant with her head parasitized by a fly maggot. Imagine there's a fly maggot in your brain. I hope not. Okay, so as the furry fly, the maggots mature, she's about to come out as a fly, not maggot anymore. That's the time the worker head falls off. So this furry fly, also called decapitating fly. Decapitating, like chop your heads off. So the ants get parasitized by this furry fly, die eventually. But wait, okay, I understand this. They die, okay, and the worker head falls off. But then, what if the furry fly emerge inside a nest? They're gonna get killed, right? What do they do? So very good. So the four fly, they're gonna hepatize the parasitize ant, releasing a lot of chemical. Go to dumpster, go to garbage area. So that's basically what maggots have been telling that worker, you know, go to the garbage. So he's like zombie, he's like, and die there. And usually in the field, in the nature, a lot of dumpster or refuse pile actually outside the nest. So when those four fly emerge, whoo, free to go. Okay. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more. Okay. Are there good ants? I mean, sounds like, and what are they good for?
With the plant and they took the one that wasn't good, the rotting one, and they threw it all.
Yes. Yep.
The ones that saved the cat, the sucking things that suck the leaves.
All those aphids and mini bugs are actually pests for the vegetables. Yeah, but that's a good one. Don't worry. Some ant species actually do seed dispersal. Seed, like a lot of, plants produce seeds, right? And they need their seed to be dispersed to be far, too far away. So ants come over, pick up seeds, and go far away and dump it. Yeah. But what I'm going to talk about is actually red-bordered fire ants. These ants, they sting. Have you, any of you been stung by fire ant before? Seriously? Yeah. Yeah, if you, before moving here, if you were in Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana, Florida, I'm pretty sure you must have come across these ants. What they do is they will grab your skin with their mandibles and curl up and present that stinger right to you. And see, the stinger's right there. Get in there, and they can do multiple stings. They don't die. Not like honeybees. Honeybee, they sting you. They're stuck in there, right? You get ripped off. But fire ant, no issues with that. But when we talk about how painful the sting is, how would you describe how painful fire ant stings are? Okay, what do you think?
That the venom that they inject into you with their stinger feels like fire burning.
Exactly. But everyone sort of had their own feeling or their own definition of how painful that is, the fire ant sting are, right? So there is a really brave professor from Arizona. He used himself as a human subject. And he has been, what he has been doing is he exposed himself to different venomous insects.
Does he have the cures for those venoms?
I think so. And I mean, I mean, he passed away a couple years ago, but he's pretty old. Yeah. So he come up with this pain index. If you want to talk about fire ants pretty much here. So the size of the, what do you call it, the round shaped stuff represents how painful it is. And you can see here, the pain actually, for example, the tropical fire ant, when they sting, the pain lasts 5 minutes. Who is the king of venomous insect? Bullet ants. And we know why they are named bullet ants, right? You feel you get, I happen to have a bullet ants here today. I do have a bullet ants here. I need a volunteer. No, I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't get stung by it.
Let me bring them out. Oh! Oh my God. It actually stings. I never been hit by bullets, but this, can you You get it, Alfred, for me?
Love to. I'm about to. No. Keep that.
That this is just a figure, you know. It's not exact size. It's probably this big, but that's still really big, you know, as an ant. So that's their stinger right there. So what they would do is they will grab your skin with their mandible, and they're gonna curl up and present their stinger, and when they sting you, they actually inject venom into your skin. Yes. Yes. So if you got stung by fire ant, that's what's gonna happen. You know, 30 minutes, 24 hours. And like I said, they can do multiple stings, right? So that's what's happened if you experience multiple sting from fire ants. The worst part is it's super itchy. Couple days after, it's super itchy. That has been my, you know, my issues when I get stung by fire ant. But even worse is you have venom. And venom sometimes cause allergy. Allergy. And look at this swollen up arm right there. Okay. No joking. This is nothing to do with how muscular you are. You're a big guy, the muscles. It doesn't really matter because I used to have a guy working for me. You know, he's like bodybuilder. You know bodybuilder mean, right? Like lift weighting a lot, like super muscle. Yeah, strong. And I took him out for the very first field trip for him, like field work for him. He's like, and a lot of students, when they come to me and tell me they want to work on fire ants, I usually would let them experience a sting in the lab, just trying to make sure they react okay. They don't really have too much allergic reactions for that. But this big guy, strong guy, is like, nope, I don't need the test because I'm so strong. Okay? You don't even need to test me. Yeah. Then I took him out for his very first field work. He got stung. One sting, only one sting. He's like, see? Nothing happens to me because I'm, flex like that in workout. But then we wrap up the work. We got in the car and I was like, hey, let me drive because I know you have been working really hard. So let me drive. Driving and he is sitting next to me and we're chatting. And I start realizing the conversation becomes one way. He never really responded to me after a few minutes, we start driving. And I turn my head, I look at him, he's like,
He's dead?
no, I mean, not dead. He completely passed out. So what I did is I rushed to the hospital, ER, and he got some shot and he wake up, oh, why are we here in the hospital? Oh, because he passed out because of one single fire sting. Okay. Exactly. I wanted to say that but I always have problem pronouncing that. But thank you for bringing that. And the FedEx, yeah. Then, so it's really important for all you guys to know how to identify fire ants. There are fire ants in Virginia, but luckily it's not in this region of Virginia. If you go to Virginia Beach, that's like the center of our fire ant populations in Virginia. And then moving west, okay? So you need to be able to know. I want you guys to be my extended eyes because I need people out there. If they see something suspicious, they have, you can contact me. Oh, I think that's the potentially fire ant nest. So the first thing you're looking at is this. They are known to build a pretty good size anthill like that. Massive, right? And if you give it a scoop, okay, not you, but you see this structure, like beehive-like structure inside. Yeah. It provides a ventilation, a really good ventilation and thermal regulation property of the. If you dig more, you'll see there are two sets of tunnels in firing colony. Okay, horizontal, vertical. Okay, I'm gonna skip this. If you happen to have a microscope in your house, yes. So what you can look at is you're gonna look at the antennae. You're gonna look at the two fat segments on the terminal of their antennae, and they have to have they cannot have any spines on their thorax, and they need to have the two petioles. So that gives you the number 202. Two fat segments on the antennae, zero spine, two petioles, two nodes. Okay. So how about this? Is this fire ants? Of course not, right? That's a carpenter ant. It's 0, 0, 1. Acrobat ants, 3, 1, 2. Nah, 3, 1, 2. Those are 3, 1, 2 ants. 3, 1, 2. And that 202 is the one you have to especially pay more attention to. Okay. And don't get me wrong, there's some ant species in Virginia that are native to Virginia. They also build a little bit ant hill thing. But always, when you see this little ant hill, and if you see a opening or entrance or gates right in the middle, like there's opening on top of the ant hill, that is not fire ants, because fire ants ant hill is a closed dome. Okay, no opening. They do underground tunnel. Okay, but for native Virginia ants that build ant hill, they actually have an opening on the top. Okay, and the behavior is very different as well. If you open up a native Virginia ants here, that's a native Virginia ants. Most of native ants would escape when you open up their colony. They don't want to deal with you. They just want to escape. They just want to run away. Yeah, just grab a baby and run. They are not interested in you. Fire ants, a different story. You poke a colony of fire ants, they're gonna come out. Yes, they're gonna see who is messing up our colony. I'm gonna attack you. I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna sting you. So that aggressiveness is a key as well. Some of it is still trying to take care of the larvae, but most of it like, who kicked our colony? I'm gonna sting you, that kind of thing. Okay, and some other, I know ants are small, but sometimes this will give you a very straightforward clue. If you see ants with like mono size, there's no size variation, like workers all look the same size, that's definitely not fire ants. Fire ants, there is a very obvious characters for you to identify. If you see ants and the workers comes with different sizes, big one, medium one, small one, that's a wings. Yeah, that's a prince right there. So if you see ants with multiple different like sizes in worker, fire ants. Okay. So I'm just going to talk about these ants to wrap up our lecture today, because I want to open up some question section for you. Yellow crazy ant. This is ants is from Asia. They're in Mexico right now and crazily expanding. And if we talk about U.S. soil, they are in Hawaii. Okay, what do this yellow crazy ant do? Okay, they were introduced into Australia back in the days, and I was able to go there. That's a good one. And I was there, and I was trying to like collect some samples out there. And a friend of mine from Australia, she took me there. And she's like, hey, Scotty, just so you know, when we get the site, please, all you have to do is keep walking. I was like, what? Like keep walking? Actually, literally? Yes. I want you to keep walking. I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I stop when I want to stop, right? But when I arrived at site, opened the car door, put my legs, put my foot, this is what happened. We did not disturb any ant colony over there. This is what it looks like when we get there, when we got there. This is a 2 or 3 mile hiking trail. And the entire hiking trail is covered or carpeted by yellow crazy ant worker. Luckily, this is not the ant species that sting, but they shoot formic acid. They have the different chemical weapon. If you have a sensitive skin, you can have the skin burn. Like seriously. So I decided I'm gonna, make a video for you. And next to this hiking trail is a sugarcane field. And this is the owner of the sugarcane field. Sugarcane, sugarcane, sugarcane. And all the sugarcane workers refuse to go out there because they get swarmed by yellow crazy ant. So the owner was forced to close out the field. Okay, and the biodiversity, and show you some video. Those are really tiny. It's still alive, but it's being annoyed, being harassed by yellow crazy ant
So it's waiting.
and the chicks, the seabird chicks as well. Okay. And not only those birds, but also those land crabs. Okay. Land crab, land crab. It's a crab. Land, like terrestrial. Yeah. On land. Land, land. Okay. So what they do is yellow crazy in a super territorial. So whatever animal come across their territory, they'll attack. Not necessarily eating them, but yellow crazy and what yellow crazy want to do is just defend their territory. So those crabs, they have to migrate from the rainforest to the ocean to lay eggs. So they have to come across yellow crazy in territory. So you come across that territory. And yellow crazy is gonna swarm on you, okay? And then you think about this: how big are crabs? This one is a good size. How big are yellow crazy ant?
Size of your fingernail.
Turns out, in this case, size doesn't matter. It's a number. So you're gonna have thousands of yellow crazy ants swarming on you, and you can do nothing. And think about summer crabs, how they defend themselves. So when crabs feel threatened, what they do is they produce a bubble through their mouths. And those bubbles, yes, that can trap some ants. Like ants get trapped and suffocated in bubbles. They die. But you think about, you survive the first wave of yellow crazy ant attack. Then you're gonna wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. And what are those bubbles made of? Saliva, your body fluid. So you die. So most of the crabs actually die because of dehydration. And because these crabs are so important in that ecosystem, it's just showing you how they shoot the formic acid, the chemical weapon. This is no joke, yeah. Yep. So because those crabs are so important in the ecosystem, this is what it looks like before yellow crazy ant invasion. Yellow crazy ant, which means the crabs are still happily living there. They control all the floor, seedlings, plants, so you're looking at a clean forest floor. But after yellow crazy invasion, they took out almost 2/3 of crab population. And that's the same forest floor looks like because nobody's control the seedlings. Okay, so there are some ants we have to really take it, pay attention to, especially those invasive ants. So I'm pretty sure after this class, you guys become a super good ant experts. I'm so happy Blacksburg or Montgomery County now has more like 50 more ant experts. So when you go out there, please be my eyes. Okay, look at those signs that could potentially indicate uh, fire ants, yellow crazy ant, or those invasive ants. I think I'm gonna wrap up my lecture now, but anyone, if you have any questions, this is a good time for you to. Yep. Okay, let me give the. Okay, you wanna? Yep. Do you have any question?
I'm gonna start passing the box, so you can just take the box and whoever's next, you can.
So if you destroy a fire ant mound, what will they do?
What you said is if you destroy your fire mount,
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Usually, fire ant has a very weird personality. Okay. If they feel like their nest or their home being destroyed to a level where it's really difficult to rebuild it, they'll just move.
Okay.
So you're not killing the colony. Of course, you destroy the physical structure of the colony, but you are actually encouraging them to, hey, go to. So it's very hard to find them, but we have some tips for that. They like the existing space that is pretty secret, pretty cryptic. So like a plywood, or where you store your, for example, firewoods. That space, that little crevices actually create pretty good environment for them to build a nest. Tree hollow as well, the crevices, concrete crevices as well. Yes, good questions.
Okay.
I was wondering, the
creatures that infect the ants' brains that can get inside of it. Would they purposefully, if they took over enough ants, would they try to rule the world?
That's pretty much what they do. It's like, do whatever I told you to do. Yes. Oh, nice toss, nice catch.
What is the average lifespan of an ant?
Very good question. Depending on what pest we're talking about, or depends on what species we're talking about. Generally, queens. Okay, let's do fire ants. Fire ant foragers 6 months.
6
A queen, on the other hand, 7 years. And some of the ant species, for example, carpenter ants, Camponotus, some of those species, their queen can live up to 30 years. 30, 30 years. That's old. Yeah. So, but yeah, so it depends on the cast. But male ants, they're gone. Yes.
I was gonna say because I found a ant nest in my backyard once and it was covered by a leaf. I don't know what species it was. So, do you have any idea of what species it was?
Definitely not leafcutter ants, right? Well, I mean, it can be like if you talk about backyard species in Virginia, there could be probably 5 to 10 different species. Okay. But I'm pretty sure it's not fire ants. And some of the ants, they like to cover their colony with some other stuff like leaves. Or they even cover their nest with some other ants' heads. Like dead corpses, like piling up. Why? Because I'm really like feel yeah. Yes.
So when that parasite takes over like the ant's brain and stuff, couldn't the other ant like colonies like destroy the parasite before it like takes over?
Very good question. For those parasites that take over brain of ants, they don't seem to be targeted by other workers. Meaning the parasite doesn't really give away any clue that that parasite is parasitizing this particular individual worker. Yeah. But for other like fungus, other different species of fungus, when ants are infected with this fungus, their smell actually changed. So other individual would be able to tell, oh, you're infected. You're not supposed to stay in a colony. I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna remove you out of colony. Yes. Yes.
You said after mating the mate dies. Why is
male?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why does it die?
That's a really good question because males gave everything to females and they die.
Yeah. Why?
It's we can talk about their physiology, but
Why?
let me make it simple. So when they mate, okay, so sort of like when honeybee sting you, sting actually the stinger actually stuck in your what do you call a skin, right? And when this honeybee trying to fly away, it rupture all the guts out of her belly, right? Right? Because that stinger is connected with the guts, like yeah. So when this honeybee trying to fly away, but the sting actually stuck in your skin, when this bee fly away, everything's gonna be ruptured from her belly. The same for male when they're mating. Actually, after mating, the male genitalia actually stuck in female. So when they're trying to separate, it rupture everything's in the male's belly as well. Yeah, but later on, they were detached. Yeah, that's just one of those some of the species, but most of the species they just like after mating, their life comes to an end. They die.
One more question. Which ant species lives like the longest?
That's I would say carpenter ants. Carpenter ants generally live pretty long, especially the queen. Like I said, 30 years lifespan for the queen. Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's do 3 more questions. So make them good ones.
Amber Yang, no question. You need to ask one before I can wrap up the lecture. It's a must.
Um, c- um, c- c- could you use the zombie fungus to kill some of the to kill some of the yellow crazy ants?
Really good question. Those zombie fungus actually are, they have the one-on-one relationship. This fungus only parasitize this particular ants. Yeah.
Okay.
But we haven't really identified the zombie fungus that target yellow crazy ant, but we do have some viruses. We do have some other fungi as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but they are not a zombie fungi.
So when a queen bee like rips off her wings and she goes down into the thing and like turns her muscles into goo and stuff, do any of the worker ants from the colony come and like help the queen, or does she just
Very good question. So she's gonna use that muscle smoothie to feed those larvae, like those babies of hers, right? So to a level where those larvae actually emerge as a worker. So those workers start helping her. Like those workers are those ones to go out to bring food back to help the queen to feed their sisters. Yes. So it started with the muscle smoothie, and then once the workers help. Uh,
Last question.
After she go in the little nest down there, where do the rest of the um ants go to? Because they don't have a queen anymore.
okay, that's a good question. So
About his question.
so this is a colony, queen. Okay, queen still stays in the original colony, but it's just those next generation queen, meaning the daughter of this original queens, they fly out to start or establish a new colony, but the original queen is still in the original nest. Do I answer your questions? Yeah, so she still stay there. So the queen doesn't go away after her princess go out. She just stay.
And how long can the bullet ant live?
I mean,
queen.
bully ants can live quite long. Usually, the lifespan or longevity is correlated with the size. The bigger queens, I would say a decade at least. Yeah, so those social insects, ants are long living. Yeah.
Okay, guys, if any of you have
Yep.
any questions that are just eating away with you at you, when your parent comes and picks you up, Dr. Yang will be at the front.
Yep.
Okay, everybody say thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, I also wanted you to join me to thank your staff because I'm pretty sure you guys have been enjoying the KTU, right? So this event will not be this amazing without amazing staff. So let's give them a big round of applause.
Okay. Volunteers. Now is the time to hand out lunch cards. If you do not have enough lunch cards for your row, just ask the other volunteers around you. Okay, sit down. Sit down.
Oh, I forget to explain. This pen actually can be a cell phone holder if you have a cell phone. Yes, tap on the screen as well. Wait, where's my, oh. So it works this way, like this, okay? And you can use this to tap your cell phone or your mom's cell phone. Yep. So for those who haven't got pens, I think I bring enough, but if not, let me know, okay? I'll probably pass on to the how many, well, I'm
Peers, make sure you're distributing meal
thinking
cards and pens.
like
We got those now.
one. Yeah. You have one, you have one, you have one. Do you have one? The pen. Yep. Oops. You have pen already?
Thank you.
Yeah, I got a notebook to go with my pen.
Yeah. Notebook. Yep. Your pen. I'll give you later. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, volunteers, once you have distributed meal cards to each kid, stand at the end of your row.
Ooh.
It's where's your cell phone? Right here. Oh, you see, my friend here doesn't have it.
You get a pen, and you get a pen, and you get a pen.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah!
This one's John.
Oh. I mean, I have to keep the notebook.
What's your favorite? What's there that you're gonna eat? Oh, chicken bowl.
I know.
Big one.